So we've reached that point. Adobe promised us a video model and they are about to deliver. Jumpstart your vehicle effortlessly with the Astro AI S8 Ultra. Its compact design and smart features make it simple to connect and boost your car's battery, providing reliable power when you need it most. Perfect for emergencies and everyday use. So Adobe have confirmed that their new Firefly model is going to be coming soon. This is the video model, and we saw a little bit about this earlier on, around the time that Sora first launched or was first announced. But this one is actually going to be coming out, and it's going to be coming out later on this year. And you're seeing some of the images that it can create and some of the use cases that Adobe think we're going to be using this for. And one of the things about this is they not only, I feel Adobe is one of those companies that's really keen and very strong when it comes to the user interface. So you can see they're not just creating a piece of technology, they're creating also the user interface to go with it. And I think part of the learning experience with this technology when it comes out is going to be understanding how to use it with that user interface. Now, there are lots of functionality, and as we look at this, you'll see that Adobe's intention is not to replace the video that we already get from stock video sites. Is to augment it, is to is to fill in the gaps when we don't have the video that we need. Now, the model can produce video from scratch. This appears to be one example, and you can see this woman here. And you can also see the prompt that created this. It's maybe a little bit blurred, but let me just read it out. Dramatic dolly zoom camera effect. The mood is eerie and dark on a rainy night. Woman, blurred focus sharpens as she puts on the glasses. Cinematic close-up and detailed portrait of a woman in the middle of a street, rain dripping off her face. She's putting on glasses. Now, this kind of detailed prompt is what they say works well with this model. And I haven't had a chance to actually get my hands on this, but you can see here, maybe this is something that could be useful in an online kind of media, advertising, marketing scenario. And they're saying that they've got the training data from their own library. They're saying that they got it from licensed sources and also from the public domain. There's been a lot of talk about Adobe this, Adobe that, but Adobe do have a huge video library in Adobe stock. And I can well understand that they might have used some of that material to train the model. We can take a closer look at some of the examples that they've given. We've got this moose here, and I don't know if we've got the prompt, cinematic close-up and detailed portrait of a reindeer in a snowy forest at night, and it goes on. And obviously you've got the sun in the background, you've got that sort of backlighting, and it looks awesome. And I don't know, it looks maybe about 720p, not quite 1080. And another one here is this volcano. This is the kind of thing, obviously, that is not going to be taking away from their stock library, because I don't think anyone has ever filmed a volcano that close and actually lived. So this is the kind of thing that you can create, and I think this example is pretty impressive. Another example is something completely unreal, and in one of their examples they actually show you can control the speed of the motion. So there are going to be controls on, the camera, how the camera behaves, how the objects inside of the scene behaves as well. This footage of a camera on a drone flying over a desert with wind blowing over the dunes, creating waves in the sand below. I thought this one was really effective. The scene just holds together. You kind of have to look really close to really understand that this is not a natural video. I mean, I suppose the colors are a little bit excessive for a desert, but it does look quite realistic. And one that I really enjoyed was this one here. Initially, I thought this was the generated video, but then I realized that the fingers were just too good. And what we actually have in the generated video is this. So they're saying, look, you can take a video that already exists, and then you can imagine a scene that augments that particular video. And you can see there the result is pretty epic. It looks pretty awesome. It looks realistic. I would not have been able to tell that was AI generated, except of course for the big AI symbol in the corner. And this is another feature with Adobe. They're very keen to promote the idea that they are going to stamp everything that they've created with this new technology with identifying markers. And that's something that might well be essential for some upcoming laws in different parts of the world. And when we see those two scenes integrated together, you can see just how, it's so nice the way everything just comes together. And to achieve this, obviously, they've got camera controls. So we've got rich camera controls like angle, motion, zoom, to create the perfect perspective. And this is one area where I think Adobe tend to triumph. They have a really good user interface. And this is where software that challenges or tries to challenge Adobe sometimes just doesn't compete. And I'm thinking of GIMP trying to compete here with Photoshop. The user interface is the thing that really makes Photoshop so much better. Now, if you've used the Firefly image generator, you can see the kind of setup that we've got here. So we've got shot size, we've got camera angle, so the kind of director's view, close up, extreme close up, and then we've got the camera angle, aerial, eye level. So it's all going to be relatively, it's going to be buttonized. You can press a button and get the result that you're looking for. Another example is the camera, a drone flying through the trees. Now, obviously, these are going to be cherry picked to some extent, but so far they look pretty good. They look pretty realistic. Maybe not quite as impressive as some of the Sora videos that we saw, that vehicle driving on a mountainside. That was amazing. So far, we haven't seen anything that spectacular, but all the things that they're showing here are pretty good. Now, the other thing that we need to take into account is they're going to try to rescue the body popping and break dancing, that stuff we saw in the Olympics. Maybe this guy might go to the Olympics next time and actually sort of do something amazing. And you can do something amazing apparently using the technology. So you can do the kind of alpha blending and green screening, which is what we're seeing here. I gotta say, it looks quite impressive. And I don't know exactly how much they're going to be able to you'll actually be able to produce the flames if you want, say, for instance, with a green screen behind them. So that's something it's been trained to do. And two scenes that I thought were adorable. This scene here with the line art just coming together was pretty fantastic. I decided not to go with the egg here. This one looks a little bit ridiculous. But this one here, again, with the moon and the cheese, this one looks fantastic. It looks spectacular. There's pretty much no way you could do that it would take a lot of putting together to get something like this done without using artificial intelligence. Now, if you saw the previous video, you'll know that this stuff is going to be actually inside of Premiere Pro. So you'll be able to use it inside of Premiere Pro beta fairly soon. And we've got a promise of generative extend, where you can take a scene and then change the scene so that you add a little bit in between. Let me just turn off the volume here and see if we can get that particular scene. This scene here is missing, and they're going to add an extra frame or a bunch of extra frames. And then when you play, you won't be able to see any difference between the generated content and the original. Now, if you haven't got, this is the entire scene here. If you haven't got Adobe Creative Cloud and you're a student, you can get it at a very, very significant discount. I'll have a link in the description to the student discount. It's about 60% for the first year. So you'll get the entire 50 apps for the price of one app. And that allows you to get it at a very affordable price for the first year. And it's discounted for the entire period whilst you're studying. I don't think it matters too much actually which course you're studying. As long as you're studying something at college or university, you can apply for that discount. So it's well worth doing because there are so many apps that there's something there for almost everyone. And as you can see, there's a lot of generative AI stuff coming through in the near future. The Astro AI S8 Ultra Jumpstarter is designed to be user-friendly, making it easy to use even for those with minimal technical expertise. With its smart jumper cables and its intuitive indicators, just connect the cables and it automatically analyzes and boosts your battery safely with multiple protections, ensuring a hassle-free jump start every time.